G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm looking forward to making this video. I haven't made much NRL content in the off season. I've been pumping out those season reviews and you'll be getting your Storm season review tomorrow night, guys. Today we're going to be speaking about some crazy NRL predictions. These are so crazy that they may not even happen. I could be entirely wrong. Let me know at the end if you agree or disagree with me with these comments. But let's get into some crazy predictions for the 2020 season. There are some very good players, there's no denying it, at the Cronulla Sharks. Bronson Xerri is a very young, talented player. Briton Nikora as well. Even Aaron Wood's a good forward. But the loss of Paul Gallen is really going to hurt the Sharks for me this year. I do think that Shaun Johnson is going to be a lot better than he was and show that he's worth the money for the Sharks. However, you've probably seen this in a previous video, but I really do think, and I predicted it last year, however they did finish 7th, the Cronulla Sharks will miss the top 8 this year. I really see the Sharks finishing around that 10th to 13th position. I think I had them in 12th, but I just can't see them making final. They've got a very good squad, very good underdogs most years. I just think there are too many losses. There's no big signings. Josh Dugan, it looks like, is going off to the Roosters or potentially to reserve grade. He has declined a Super League offer, which I'll speak about probably in tomorrow's video. But yeah, prediction 1, the Cronulla Sharks will miss the top 8. Okay guys, second prediction is that JAMAYNE ISAAKO will have a very good year, and I mean very good. He'll be the top try scorer for the Broncos, potentially even their best player. Now, he's another underdog. Everyone is relying, and I think he'll be okay, but Anthony Milford is expected to be the leader, or Alex Glenn is the captain, but the leader, and steer the Broncos ship along with Brady Croft. Brady Croft, I think, will have a good year as well. I think he'll do good at the Brisbane Broncos. I think JAMAYNE ISAAKO will have a very fast year, very good, score a lot of points, and be very good for this team. I'm predicting a big year from him. What do you guys think of this? Do you think this is a bit out there, or do you think JAMAYNE ISAAKO will have a good 2020? Prediction number 3 is very, very wild, very, very accurate. It was very hard to think of some names, but people get injured. That is part of NRL. Now, Maika Sivo, Briton Nikora, Curtis Sironen, and Tariq Sims, at some point during the 2020 season, whether it be for 2 weeks, whether it be a month out, will all be injured. Massive, bold prediction. As I said, this video is crazy, but these are people that I can see having injuries previously and those injuries coming back during these games. But Maika Sivo, Briton Nikora, Curtis Sironen, and Tariq Sims all to be injured in the 2020 season. Manly. The Manly Sea Eagles will only just make the top 8. They will play finals and they will finish in 8th position. This is my opinion. But the big call with this one is that Manly will actually not win a match until round 5. They play the Storm. They play the Roosters. They play the Warriors. Now, the Warriors are a good away team. Manly could win this one. Then they play the Raiders, a bogey team. Then they've got the Knights. Great win against the Knights record in round 5. I'm expecting Manly to get their first win. I also don't know if Tom Trbojevic will be there at the very start of the season due to the injury that he received late last year. He is trying to get back into that position, but he could be out for the first couple of weeks. If not, I could say maybe against the Warriors, he'll be back in round 3, if not starting. But wild prediction, Manly make the top 8, but they don't win a match until round 5. The loss of Cooper Cronk is really going to affect the Sydney Roosters, in my opinion. Now, I do see the Roosters are 100%, 110%, 200%. They're going to play finals. However, I don't see the Roosters making the top 4. The top 4 I have are Parramatta, Storm, Souths, and Raiders, I think it was. The Raiders I had second. I think I put them a little bit lower now with a few changes, but I'm going to leave my ladder as it is at the moment. Now, the Roosters have Kyle Flanagan. They could be underdogs again. They could go back to back to back for all we know. But in my opinion, They will not play in the grand final, and they will not make the top 4. They will finish in 5th position. The Dragons last year were woeful. They finished the season with just 7 wins. Unfortunately, Gareth Widdop was injured for a lot of the season. And if you've watched my predictions, I do think the Dragons are going to have a good year. I don't think that the Dragons will play finals, unfortunately. I think they'll finish in 9th position. They will be the surprise packet of 2020. I expect a big year from the forward pack as well. Tyson Frizzell, Jacob Host, these type of players to lead them on. Now, this prediction here is that the Dragons will win more than 12 games. Not a hard prediction, but a lot of people here are predicting the Dragons to finish in that 15th, 16th position. For me, it's the Tigers and the Warriors. But I do think that the Dragons will almost double what they won last year. Now, if we were going off last year, this is the same as the Cronulla Sharks, which means the Dragons would be finishing in 7th position. However, I've got them finishing in 9th. So the Dragons to win more than 12 games. The NRL 9s I will be making a separate video on, and that starts next weekend. Looking forward to it. Some action in Perth, some NRL content. It'll be interesting to see the team list. Corey Parker has come out, and as well as Kurt Gidley for the Knights, I believe, in the 9s. Straight up, I think the Broncos, couldn't believe my eyes when they were favourites, because I thought maybe they'd be at the $10 range, but they're at $6, and I didn't even look at the betting odds, didn't even know they were out. I think the Broncos will win the 9s. I think if David Fifita plays, if Payne Haas gets a spot as well, plus you've got Corey Parker, the talent of Brady Croft, I think that the Broncos are going to win the 9s. I think they're going to be too good. I don't think they're going to win the NRL tournament though. And I think that the Storm will come second with players like Ryan Pappenhausen. If Cameron Smith gets a run in the 9s, I think that the Storm will be too good and come second. At the moment, it's the Broncos and the Parramatta Eel in 1st and 2nd, but I think it'll be the Broncos and the Storm. This one here is for you Eels fans like me. The Parramatta Eels will break a 14-year voodoo. They will win by less than 10 points, so they won't win big, but they will win in Canberra against the Raiders. I will be there for this game. I will get down there to Canberra, guys. Somehow I will get there to watch us win. It's been 14 long years suffering against the Raiders. We beat them in TIO Stadium in Darwin last year. Before that, there were 2 games we were left completely scoreless, just a goal kick and even nil. I think we'll win this. If I had to predict, I'd maybe say 16-10 in a very defensive game. I think the Raiders have had a lot of changes, and I think the Eels have a little bit advantage in relation to the roster. But obviously injury can change all of this, but I'm going to say that this is the year, 2020 is the year that the Parramatta Eels do beat the Canberra Raiders in Canberra for the first time since 2006. With Valentine Holmes potentially returning to the side, I'm going to predict that Queensland will win the State of Origin 2-1. Now, I'm going to say that there's going to be another decider match, which I think is being played up in Suncorp. I actually got my tickets to Origin Game 2 in ANZ Stadium last night. So go and get your tickets if you haven't gotten them. Cheer on your team. But yeah, I think we've got some potential to really damage the New South Wales side. No Latrell Mitchell. We've seen how good New South Wales can play. I don't know, I've just got a gut feeling that Queensland will win it. New South Wales went back-to-back. Roosters went back-to-back. I don't think there'll be any 3-peats in 2020. Top try scorers for 2020. Now, I've said that number 1 from the Penrith Panthers is going to have a massive year will be Brian To'o. Okay? That's number 1. Number 2 from the Canterbury Bulldogs, I'm expecting scoring out on the wing. Nick Meaney, he's found his position there on the wing. Very talented. Number 3 is a roughie. As long as he stays injury-free, he does get injured a bit. From the Sydney Roosters, Brett Morris out on the wing. All 3 wingers will be the top try scorers for 2020 in my prediction. And last but not least, I might make a separate video with different predictions, but I expect a massive year from Daniel Saifiti. Daniel Saifiti showed me a lot last year, and I think he can even have a bigger year. I do also think that Freddie Fittler will recall him for an Origin jersey, whether it be on the bench or starting. I would maybe say on the bench, not a starting role, kind of like Cameron Murray, big impact player off the bench. But I like Daniel Saifiti's style of the game. I think he's a very dangerous player, and I expect him to bring that again this year. Anyway, guys, do you guys disagree? Do you agree? Do you think this video was complete and utter bullshit? Did you enjoy it? Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in my Melbourne Storm recap for 2019 season review for 2019.